So, sorry, I'm just trying to set up here, guys. I had it set up, but then it went back off. So, just a second here. There we go. Okay, let's back up here. So, right now we're on the page for the Legion class overview with the features and stuff. The class previews are currently blocked out, but we can get to have a look at what our artifact weapons are going to be looking like. So I'll probably go in order. We'll probably actually go from bottom to top. So we'll look at the warrior one first. We're going to have a look at the warrior's artifact preview, what their weapon stats are going to look like and stuff, like what their looks are going to be. So we're going to actually just talk about here. So only Azeroth's seasoned veterans possess the fortitude to wield artifacts of legend against the Burning Legion. Your myth-forged weapon grows in power as you do, and your choices will change as its abilities and the way it looks. Fearless fighters. Arms warriors are patient fighters, blah blah. That's all stuff that we know and stuff. Here's like the previews of what we're going to be seeing for what the weapon looks like. So Arms is going to be using Stromkar, the Warbreaker. This greatsword was born into combat by the barbarian warlord who first unified humanity under one single banner. Founding the nation of Arathor, a master tactician and strategist, King Thoradin went on to play a critical role at the ending of the Troll Wars. Later the sword was lost while being used to subdue a Thoraxi monstrosity in a forgotten tomb beneath Tirisfal. Abandoned and all but forgotten, Stromkar has been slowly drinking from the shadowy power for over 1,000 years. And then here's like an upgraded version of what that would look like. An upgraded version of what that would look like there. Fury, we've got the War Swords of Valajar. In ages past, the Titanic Watcher Keeper, Odin, betrayed the sorceress Helia, killing her and twisting her spirit into a spectral Valkyr. He forged this pair of swords from the mightiest of his Stormforged of his Stormforged Valkyr, but Helia stole the swords and infused them with a portion of her rage. She then gave them to her own champion, who used them to hunt the greatest heroes and drag their souls away to serve Helheim. These swords stir their owner into an unrelenting and punishing attacks, which overcome a target's defense and leave no opening for counterattacks. And this is like an upgraded little version of what it would look like as well. And it's a very cool looking design. To be blunt with you guys, I'm going to tell you right now, I don't feel the amount of time that we have to wait is a good thing. I don't believe it at all to be a good thing, so I'm very concerned about it, but I want to get some information and get some content on the YouTube channel just to maybe pump myself up for it, I guess. I don't know. Protection will have the scale of the Earth Warder, an impenetrable shield crafted for the scale of the Black Dragon aspect Neltharion, the Earth Warder, before the old god's corruption overcame him. The formidable Vicrol King, Magnar, Icebreaker, carried this shield into combat and won victory after victory. In the face of grim odds, when he finally fell in battle, it was due to the treachery of the servants of the Valkyr Helia. The shield is now entombed within King Magnar's body, in the Path of Kings in Stormheim. And this is an upgraded version. I'm assuming that these versions that they're showing are like the Fel and infused PvP versions, because all the cooler looking versions of these swords are the PvP equivalent for what you get for doing the PvP content. Let's have a look at the Warlock. And bear with me, the site is probably being overloaded with people trying to come on here and see this content. Dark practices. Affliction. Ulfalish, the Dreadwind Harvester. The first necrolyte to walk the world of Azeroth, Satil, or Satinil, I'm pronouncing it Satil, was given this scythe by the Titan Sargeras himself. It grows in power as it draws from the soul. Mike's super low, it shouldn't be. It's at like 100%. Where is Scythe of the Titan Sargeras? It grows in power as it draws souls from its victims. The Harvester earned its name as Satil methodically drained all life from the hapless inhabitants of Deadwind Pass, creating a potent magical nexus there in the process. Hunting down Satil, the guardian of Trisval turned the scythe on her, sending her soul to join those with her victims. Eventually, the Dark Riders recovered this weapon and secreted it beneath the Tower of Karazhan. So warlocks are going to be going to the Tower of Karazhan if they're Affliction. Is the sound better now, by the way? Just wanted to know. I've got the mic turned way up. It shouldn't be low. If it's low, then maybe you have to turn up your volume. Well, actually, maybe. Hold on. Is it better now? Test, test, 1, 2. We'll move on to Demonol. Oh, and this is what the, what I'm assuming the PvP version of the scythe looks like. Pretty sick looking, actually. Can you hear me better now? Like, is it better, or do I just need to move the mic closer? I literally changed no settings from the last time I streamed. Is it better now, or do I need to move? I'll just move the mic closer a little bit. Hold on. Well, it's a snowball. It shouldn't have to be that close to my... Let's see here. Is that better, guys? How's that now? It's really cool that this is just a floating skull. Demonology is the skull of the Monaree. Before the Erodar served the Titan Sargeras, one of their greatest leaders, Thykal, had unprecedented skill with summoning and binding magics. Driven by ambition, he reached into the void and was answered with the knowledge of the dark creature unlike any of the Erodar have seen before. His audacious power even, infuriated the demon lord Archimonde, who struck him down, and then had his skull gilded and placed in display as a warning. Today, the Dreadlord Mephistroth uses it to enhance his ability to summon and command demon armies of the Legion. And there's like a look of what that skull would probably look like with the PvP. I don't see how it works. I don't see how it sounds the same, though, because literally I have... Here, hold on. Maybe something changed with my recording device here. Hold up. No, everything seems to be intact. Figure. No, that's just setting up a speech tutorial. I don't see how it sounds the same though, but whatever. We'll find out later on. It's literally right next to my mouth. Like the snowball's right here. So either I got amazingly soft in the voice, or I don't know. Destruction, you have the Scepter of Sargeras. Created through incredible effort of hundreds of Sargeras' servants, the scepter can rip open dimensional gateways between worlds. It was entombed beneath the sea for centuries, and then used by the orc shaman Ner'zhul to open up all portals that tore the world of Azeroth apart, leaving behind the shattered realm of Outland. The scepter was finally secured by the elite Magi of the Kirin Tor. Unable to destroy it, they had hid it away in a magically protected chamber and put it under eternal watch to prevent it from ever being used again. And what I'm assuming again is the upgraded PvP version of the staff. Okay. That's cool looking. It's not particularly eye-grabbing though. It's very demon looking. I almost feel like the Scepter of Sargeras would have been better as a demonology thing. But we'll find out. The Shaman artifact preview. Elemental. Elementals will be using the Fist of Raden. Amun-Thul, the High Father, leader of the Titan Pantheon, entrusted his greatest servant, High Keeper Ra, with this artifact, which could channel the fury of the storms. Ra used it to bestow life onto the Titan-forged Mogu races, and wielded it in battle against the Black Empire for years beyond counting. Later, lost to Ra, the weapon was ultimately recovered by the August Celestial Zuen, who saw its immense and dangerous power and had chose to safeguard it until someone worthy could take up the weapon for a righteous cause. Once again. That's cool. Oh, and here we're looking at, like, that kind of looks like Rhaegar's... That kind of looks like Rhaegar's fist weapon, actually. Yeah, it's odd that the Elemental will be getting a fist weapon. That's weird. Enhancements. Doomhammer. Forged in elemental lava on the orc homeworld of Draenor. This massive hammer is connected deeply with the elements, and its true power is only awakened in the hands of those who can speak to the elements in kind. The Doomhammer was long wielded by Orgrim Doomhammer, one of the greatest orc warriors of the Horde, and now rests with Thrall, one of the most powerful shamans Azeroth has ever known. It doesn't allude to anything about him dying, but maybe he's just going to give up the Doomhammer to us. And there's a very cool looking fell and forged infused version of the Doomhammer. That actually looks really cool. And the reason why you see this shaman here in the picture... Yeah, that works. The reason you see this shaman here in the picture have like two Doomhammers is because the Doomhammer is paired with a hammer of pure negative elemental energy, and that's what that hammer is over there. So it has no name to it for that other hammer. The main hammer is the one that's in your main hand. Restoration, the Scepter of Ashara. Powerful scepter created by Queen Ashara long ago, before her transformation into a Naga. The scepter swirls with waters of the Well of Eternity prior to its corruption. Granted the scepter great magical and restorative power. The Scepter of Ashara was lost during the War of Ancients, shortly before Ashara and many of her followers were swallowed by the sea, taken up by surviving night elves who knew nothing of the power it truly held. It was buried with an unknown priestess in the family tomb of Azuna, waiting to be discovered by someone that could unlock its true potential. And that's like the upgraded scepter. So I wonder if they're classifying that as a mace or something, or if they're gonna classify it as an actual scepter weapon. Yeah, Scepter went to Arresto. Yeah. I don't know. That Scepter doesn't leave too much to the imagination. It could be a wand as well. Yeah, that's possible. I don't see it being a wand though. I think when they use the word scepter there, I think they're classifying it as a new form of weapon. Yeah. I wouldn't have wanted a fist weapon for Resto. Rogue artifact weapon preview. Thief, assassin, outlaw. Oh, okay. So this is also showing us that they renamed combat to outlaw. So when you hear me mention outlaw, that is actually combat spec. Why not a mace dagger, you know? Did they just do a whole new announcement for Legion? Blizzcon is happening right now. We just watched the panel. A couple of friends and I watched the panel. We're going to be doing a podcast right after they get back, hopefully. I'm just going over the preview now because while they released all this information in the panel about BlizzCon, about Legion, they simultaneously updated the website, hoping that people wouldn't. Do they have a release date that they're hoping on or before September 21st, 2016? Assassination, anguish and sorrow. The orc warlock Gul'dan had these daggers made for his personal assassin Garona. The blades said to drink blood and inflict traceless poison, leaving little sign of their grim work. These perfect tools for an assassin. She used them to carry out countless atrocities under Gul'dan's control, including the murder of Stormwind's King Lane, whom she had befriended. Afterwards, in anguish, she asked a trusted ally, Meryl Winterstorm, to help her hide the blades away and hope that they'd never again be used. Now I gotta do dishes for a year. No. A whole year. That sucks. I'm sorry, bro. I said Legion won't be out until next year. Yeah. Yeah, that sucks. Yeah, the whole time frame, I'm hoping that they're going to do a filler patch. If not, I won't be playing WoW for a little bit. I might play it a little bit now that I'm kind of hyped up about it, but the movie didn't do anything for me. What actually set it for me was the cinematic, and I could probably show the cinematic. I don't think they're going to get mad at me for showing the cinematic, but whatever. Okay, and this is like what the weapons would look like, kind of like a Shaw, blood-infused version of these daggers. That's actually really cool looking. I wasn't impressed with the movie. I wasn't. Outlaw, the Dreadblades, Fate and Fortune. Shortly after the Cataclysm, Admiral Elysia Goreblade discovered a pair of ornately crafted cutlasses inside a recently unearthed wreck not so far from Booty Bay. Though the origins of these blades are unclear, their power was not, as it quickly made her name known, pillaging countless ships across the Great Sea. None able to best her in combat. Rumors spread around among pilots and sailors about the Dreadblades, the most common ones all agreeing that they are cursed, and if they should ever stop being fed new victims, they'll claim the owner instead. Ooh. Well, the trailer sucked, really. Yeah, the movie... the trailer that they showed for this movie did not look good at all. How long was Warlords of Draenor been out? I've not seen anything yet. Fun to hear what I have to say on. Oh, okay, yeah, yeah. Warlords has been. How long has Warlords been out? I want to say Warlords has been out for a year now. And Hellfire Citadel has been out for what? 5 months? Yeah, since last September. So. Yeah, it's been it's over a year now. It's over a year now. Nah, it'd be over a year. Be over a year, Sean. It would be over a year because of the fact that September has passed. So they're renaming Combat to Outlaw. That's cool. Yeah. Yeah, it's a filler expansion. Let's all come to the conclusion that this was a filler expansion. This is not something that was supposed to be a good expansion. And this is what the cutlasses look like. That's actually really regal looking. That would go with, you have a good pirate set. That would look really nice. Oh, that would look really, really nice. I look for Legion to be about the same time. With all the stuff they're adding, I don't know. It's weird. It's hard to say yet. We don't know. Subtlety, Fangs of the Devourer, Gormar the Devourer, Sargeras' personal hound, claimed countless lives before it was eventually ambushed and killed on another world long ago. Following the hound's death, Mephistroth had its fangs crafted into 2 powerful daggers and still carried them with some of the potent withering essence that made Gormar's bite so deadly. These daggers were passed to Akari, one of the Sargeras's most deadly assassin, who wields them to this day until we come out and fucking claim them. Last November. So close to a year. Yeah. These weapons will not be hard to obtain. They say probably within the first hour to 2 hours of playing the game, you're going to get these weapons. Yeah. So these aren't going to be very, very hard to get at all. And, yeah, they're just not going to be hard to get. That is a piece of shit looking weapon. That's what I was saying. This expansion better be good. That is a piece of shit looking weapon. Just want to say. So I will not be upgrading a rogue's weapons to that. Fuck that. So that was the rogue. We're going to go on to the priest. These weapons going forward will be weapons that you level up through the expansion's life. So, when you get your sword or your daggers or whatever, these daggers will not be replaced until probably next expansion. It's not even stages. You're going to level up the weapon on its own. So the level up is, if you've ever played Final Fantasy, the materia system for the weapons and stuff, it's kind of like that, where you level them up and you go do quests and stuff to help increase the expansion, to increase the level of these weapons. Pre-orders are up. Yes, they are up. I will pre-order the expansion when I have the money. I don't have the money right now, but it's $49.99 for the standard version, and it's $69.99 or $59.99. $69.99 for the deluxe edition. For Discipline, we have Light's Wrath. Obsessed with cleansing the undead from the world of Azeroth, the fanatical Scarlet Crusade tried to create a second Ashbringer in the form of a staff. However, a Dreadlord had infiltrated the Order and intervened, interrupting their efforts, triggering a violent magical explosion. The damaged staff's power proved nearly uncontrollable after several wielders tried and failed to use the staff safely. The elite Magi of the Kirin Tor had hid it away and to unleash it. Hid it away lest it unleash further deadly calamities. Tongue twisters. And that looks like the upgraded version of the staff. Very very mage looking, that staff. Very purpley, very book oriented, very I think that's I think that probably would have been better suited for a for a mage. But you can see the influences from Benediction here on the points. It's actually a cross, which is actually cool. It's got a cross on both ends. It can be satanic too, because that's an upside down cross. Holy Tur, beacon of the Naru. As beings of holy light, the benevolent Naru rescued the Draenei from their homeworld after most of its people were transformed into demonic recruits for the Burning Legion. Demons nearly overwhelmed the fleeing Draenei, but the Naro protected the refugees with a beacon crystal. Tudor channels the light's essence into healing radiance, regenerating horrific wounds and bringing people back from the brink of death. Ultimately, the crystal was lost to Legion forces on an invaded world and hasn't been seen since. A staff is beastly looking, yeah. This staff, holy shit! Holy shit! I'm going arcane spec for mage. I like. Okay, cool. That staff is awesome looking. Holy shit! Yeah, that staff looks dope. That staff looks dope right there. Shadow, Zaloth, Blade of the Black Empire. This terrifying dagger has been made from the claw of an old god eons ago. The Dark Priests used it for ritual sacrifices during the height of the Black Empire. After the fall of the old god, Zaloth has been hidden away by cults. It has surfaced from time to time over the course of history, inevitably associated with some horrific ritual or disaster. The blade has a will of its own, and uses the powerful void energies and mind magics to warp everything around it, for some nefarious purpose. Holy Priest always getting cool stuff, yeah. And that is a shitty looking dagger right there. I don't like that look at all. If you had a set that goes with it, it's got nails for the goddamn guard. Look at that. That is gruesome. I like the look of that one, though. That one's nice. Great. Old gods. Paladin artifact weapon preview. Warriors of Light. Holy will be receiving the Silver Hand. As one of the Titanic Watchers, Keeper, Tyr, bore this weapon in countless battles against the Titans. Wait, what? Against the Titans' enemies. Okay, sorry. When one of his fellow keepers, Loken, fell to corruption, Tyr and his allies stole the Disc of Norgannon to investigate the extent of Loken's betrayal. Discovering the theft, Loken sent horrific monsters after Tyr's group, but Tyr sacrificed his life to fight the creatures while his comrades escaped with the discs. His hammer was lost with him. Somewhere beneath the land now known for this horror is Tirisfal. Oh, damn! That looks like a silver hand-looking doom hammer. Yeah. That's a big-ass mace. That's a big-ass mace is what that is, yes. Protection. Truth Guard. The Titanic Watchers Tyr and Arcandus created this shield when their comrade Loken fell to corruption. They gave the Truth Card to a Vicral champion who used it to expose Loken's treachery. When Tyr's allies later stole the Discs of Norgannon and fled, the champion stayed behind and held off many of Loken's servants. A desperate Loken sent horrific monsters after Tyr, who fell in combat. In the time, the Vicral champion migrated to Stormheim and the Broken Idols, where the shield was eventually entombed in the Path of Kings. And that is a regal looking shield and sword. Hate Palian Holy Priest, get the cool things. That shield is awesome looking. I love that shield. Nice. And Retribution, the Ashbringer. King Magdi Bronzebeard forged the Ashbringer from a piece of crystal purified by the wielders of holy light. This gave the sword strange light-bearing powers. It was named for its ability to slaughter undead, leaving nothing but ash in its wake. Ashbringer passed through several hands, serving both light and shadow, before it came to the legendary paladin Tyrion Forgering, who's used it to shadow the Lich King's Runeblade Frostmourne on top of Icecrown Citadel. Tyrion has carried Ashbringer with him ever since. Looking forward to Protection Warriors Relic. Yeah. Yes, the Paladins will get Ashbringer. And this is what we can assume a crackling version, shattered Ashbringer. Really cool looking. I like all of the Ashbringer designs, except for the fact that they changed the other handle to blue. or to red and blue and all this. They just changed the grip tape is what it was. And we did go over the Pally ones, so if you want to, you can head over to the youtube.com/Alvanis later on after we're done this part of the stream, and I'll upload the full thing to YouTube. So we've gone over Paladin, now it's time for the Monk. Martial Arts Masters. Brewmaster. Fuzan, the Wanderer's Companion. Long ago, the Titanic Watcher Keeper Freya set out to populate the world with life. She placed one of the first seeds in Pandaria. From it grew Fuzan, the first of all Pandaria's forests. What? Well, and the first and all of Pandaria's forests descended from it. Before populating the rest of Azeroth, Freya fashioned a walking stick for her travels from one of the Fuzu's branches. Eventually, Freya passed her staff to the Jade Serpent Yulon, who later gave it to a uniquely clever Hosen, the Monkey King, as he was called, hung with his most prized possessions from the staff, which he carries with him to this day. And should be a polearm though. That staff. Just skip Mograine, why don't you? Yeah, they did. That staff, that is really good for Brewmaster Monk because it just has a tankard of ale hanging off of every part of it. Mistweaver, Shilun, Staff of the Mists. During the last Pandaren Emperor's reign, a prophecy arose that the Ruthless Legion would invade the world of Azeroth and leave it shattered. To save his people, Emperor Shaohao embarked on a series of trials, taking with him an ancient staff, Shilun. Afterwards, he used his newfound wisdom to become part of the land. He made Pandaria into a separate continent and then shredded it in mist to protect it. His staff clattered to the ground, where it lay until the monks of the Tyon Monastery found it and took it to the Terrace of Endless Springs for safekeeping. And that, again, staffs like that, like a staff, this is the embodiment of, like, Yulon right there. Like, that's what that is. I guarantee you that's a quest chain for Yulon. Pandaria. Yeah, it's a new band I'm making. Yeah. Windwalker, Fist of the Heavens. Thousands of years ago, the famed Tolvir smith, Iramal, crafted a pair of magnificent handblades. Unsatisfied with his work, Amal tried to capture the essence of Alakir, the Windlord, and infuse it into his blades. Alakir was not amused. To spite the smith, Alakir poured unspeakable amounts of raw elemental fury into these handblades. When Emriel attempted to unleash their might, a great vortex sprang up, engulfed his city, and scattered the weapons to the winds. Those fist weapons, though. Yeah, that is a cool-looking fist weapon if it wasn't a 2D model. They have that turned to a 2D model and not 3D because it's probably not finished yet. Still looks cool. Yeah, these are really nice looking. I just gotta take a drink of water. Hold on. Pantera Monk version. Yeah, Monk. Mage. Let's check out the mages. Arcane. Alunith. Great Staff of Magna. Of the Magna. Alunith is most notably wielded for a time by Agewind, the only female guardian of Tirisfal. Although stories indicate that it's far older than she is said to have found the staff roughly a century after she took up the mantle of Guardian, and to have wielded Alunith in many battles against the Burning Legion. Several years before relinquishing her title, she retired the staff, but none know where she might have stored it. A Fel-infused version. It looks like this is an incomplete model. I think that whole thing should be covered in lightning at the top. But again, if you have a set that goes with, if you're like a Fel mage, that looks pretty cool. Fire will have Fel Malorn, or Flame Strike in its native tongue. Fel Malorn was born into battle by members of the Sunstrider family, as they proved their valor in the War of the Ancients, during the Troll Wars, and against the Death Knight Arthas Menethil, after it was destroyed. Prince Kel'Thas... fucking wow names. After it was destroyed, Prince Kel'Thas Sunstrider reforged the sword even stronger and used it against Lich King, trading several blows with the demonic runeblade Frostmourne. Ultimately, Kel'Thas was forced to retreat, and the sword was lost in the frigid wastes of Northrend. And a very, not so elvish looking blade there. That looks like a very straight edge sword, kind of like a Master Smith sword, but still very cool looking. Frost will get Ebon Chill. This great staff was wielded by Elodie, the first guardian of Tirisfal. He bore this staff into many battles against Legion forces over the century, in which he served as a guardian, then stepped down from his role as a guardian. But he retained the staff to his dying days. Upon his passing, the Kirin stored the staff safely away for fear of what might happen if a lesser mage attempted to wield its power without the ability to control it fully. Yeah, it looks very like in tune with nature. If you can look at it's got like a wood handle here, like a really ornate on the ends here. It looks like it's got grass and stuff coming off it. It's fucking got like little dangly things hanging off it. It's pretty cool looking. And I want to point out that it looks like the Kirin have access to a plethora of staffs. I think the Ebon Chill would look different, yeah. Right now, the Ebon Chill's base form is what you see this little gnome here. That's the base form of it, I guess. Very cool looking, though. Mages. Hunters. Beast Mastery. Titan Strike. A peerless example of techno-magical engineering, the Titan Strike was designed by Keeper Mimiron, a titanic watcher and brilliant inventor. Securely housed in the heart of the rifle is a relic known as the Thunderspark. Powers the Titan Strike, harnessing the essence of storms and focusing it into concentrated blasts of energy. The rifle's power source can be credited to Mimiron, who devised it for his comrade, Keeper Thorum, in ages past. And that looks like a giant blunderbuss of a fucking mammoth tusk there. Oh my god. I think Ebon Chill would look different. Oh, sorry. And bow, and more bow. Actually, no, it's a gun. Nice, though. Marksman. Tash Daroth, Legacy of the Windrunners. A proud heirloom of the Windrunner family, Taz Daroth was carved from the bough of a mother tree in Eversong Woods, rather. Shortly after the Elven Kingdom of Quel'Thalas was founded, handed down by the eldest of each generation, or to the eldest of each generation, the bow was last wielded by High Elf Ranger Captain Illyria Windrunner, and disappeared along with its owner following the destruction of the Orcs' homeworld Draenor, and the subsequent formation of Outland. And then this is an upgraded version of the bow. It's very cool looking, actually. Looks like a phoenix, is what that does. Survival. Talonclaw, Spear of the Wild Gods. The High Mountain Torn crafted this spear, which predates the first demonic invasion of Azeroth. Then, 10,000 years ago, Talonclaw's wielders have fought alongside many guardian animal spirits, also known as Ancients, and defend the world of Azeroth and its wildlife in particular. Over the millennia, these Ancients have bestowed their blessings upon the weapon, imbuing it with a portion of their power. Stop liking the WoW guns when they change the sound. Oh, okay. Yeah, and, well, Survival Hunters no longer have to worry about that because we use spears. We're a melee hunter now. This is pretty cool. And that is a very plain-looking staff with tree leaves around it and a wolf head, but that's kind of cool. Again, something I wouldn't... You know, it's not something I would personally use for a transmog or... for my weapons base, but that's still kind of cool looking. Alright, hunters and druids. Balance. Scythe of Elune. This magical artifact was created millennia ago from the Staff of Elune and a fang from the great wolf demigod Goldrin. The Scythe of Elune also carries a long and unsettling history for the druids. Those who are not careful enough can easily be overwhelmed by Goldrin's spirit, which infuses with the scythe. Tied to the origin of the Worgen on Azeroth, the scythe is said to possess untold lunar power for the druid within balance. Druids with balance for the druid, with balance enough to keep it control. And what you can see like is a fell infused version of the Elune staff, which is actually not that bad looking. It's more of a scythe though, so I mean they're gonna classify that as a staff, but it's a scythe. Feral, Fangs of Ashman. The massive Grey Panther, Ashman, one of the first wild gods, was one of many to answer the call of the demigod Sarnarius to defend the world of Azeroth during the War of the Ancients. She fell in battle against the Legion, but saved countless lives in the process. A great shrine was built in her honor in Valshara, and her fangs were adorned and put on display there. It is said that they still carry much of her power. And as if you didn't know, for our feral people, the weapon itself will probably not change, but druids get a brand new looking saber form, and that is dope looking. Yeah, druids are looking way cool now. Yeah, shows on your shapeshifted form. Yep, very cool looking. Guardian, the Claws of Ursoc. Forged from Titan's steel by the Titanic Watcher Keeper Freya, these claws were her gift to the great bear Ursoc, one of the wild gods. He wielded these claws in countless battles until his death during the War of Ancients. Although his body faded away, the claws remained, and legends say fragments of his spirit lingered within. After wrestling the claws away from Ursoc's Forbalg followers, a band of druids took the claws to the Emerald Dream, sought out Ursoc's spirit, and returned the claws to him for safekeeping. That is a dope-ass looking bear form. Holy shit. That is awesome looking. Holy. Look at that bear form. Sick looking. Restoration. Gehanar, the Mother's Tree. This is a single branch taken from Gehanar, the Forest Tree, which was gifted to mortal druids by the demigod Alviana, or Avlana. Avlana? Oh, Aviana. Sorry, it looked like an L. Long ago. Its connection to the mystical Emerald Dream serves as healing and stabilizes influence on the world of Azeroth. In recent times, druids have used the staff to hold back the corruption and madness of the Nightmare. As a result, satyrs within the Nightmare are desperate to see Galanar destroyed. And very cool looking. It's got like a... It's almost like the staff itself was corrupted by the Emerald Nightmare with that look there. That's pretty cool. Again, a nice void set. Would look really nice with that. Okay, so the two Demon Hunter and Death Knight are last, and we're going to have a look at the Demon Hunters. Havoc, Twin Blades of the Deceiver. These glaives are for the former Demon Hunter Vedris Felsoul, once a member of the Illidari and sworn enemy of the Burning Legion. He was slain at the Black Temple after the Legion's leader Kil'jaeden revived him in the Twisting Nether. Veldras surrendered to the demons within, forsaking his mortality in the process. And he and his glaives were infused with the great power of Kil'jaeden's Eridar allies. Awesome. Glaives are always awesome looking, come on. And that's an okay looking glaive. It's trying to... I think you're going to see all the glaives try to pull off of the Warglaives of Azzinoth. And they're going to probably fail, but I mean, these are cool things to be wielding, these glaives. Vengeance. Eldarkai Warblades. In ages past, the Dark Titan Sargeras offered the mighty Eldarkai people a place in his Burning Legion. But the Eldarkai proved incorruptible. I'm sorry for the dog. Okay, I think it's safe now. Proved incorruptible. They slew innumerable demons before the race was wiped out. Sargeras personally killed their greatest champion and seized his weapon. Much later, a demon hunter willingly became the servant of Sargeras' lieutenant, Kil'jaeden. Please, Kil'jaeden bestowed the Warblades on her so that she might wield a portion of the Eldarkai's begone might and devastate the mortals of Azeroth with it. Oh, wow. Demon Hunters will be starting at 98. The Thigh Slayer. That's what the Demon Hunters will be starting it as. And very cool. So, the Vengeance, the tanking, will be used with a different kind of set of Warglaives. They're going to be like arm glaives. Those are cool. That's actually really cool. And last but not least, the Death Knight Artifact Weapon Preview. Blood will get Maw the Damned, an ancient Legion axe forged from a metal that drains victims' vital energies. The soul of its original creator was trapped within and cursed with unending hunger. For more than 1,000 years, an old and cunning Morag has used the axe to butcher uprisings and consume the life force of the Legion's foes. Over its long and infamous history, the weapon has been made its demonic bearer extraordinarily powerful. And that is a very cool looking axe, even though it looks like... That looks like, to me, it's forged out of, like, a tree branch. It's very Axe of Cenarius looking, which is okay with me. I don't mind that. Frost, Icebringer, and Frost Reaper, Blades of the Fallen Prince. Crafted by the Burning Legion to corrupt the world of Azeroth, the soul-stealing runeblade Frostmourne was shattered by Ashbringer atop the Ice-Crown Citadel. Countless souls were freed from the broken blade, but others were not so fortunate. Today, the shards of Frostmourne can be recrafted and infused with even more power. However, the spirits are still trapped within, must first be subdued and bent to the wielder's will. Looks like butt. Looks like a bone. Oh, okay. I never thought about that. Looks like bone, yeah. And this is one of the looks of the weapons that can be. It's probably like a, again, I'm assuming that this is like a PvP tier kind of skin for the weapon. Very cool looking nonetheless. Unholy. We'll get Apocalypse. Vampiric demons known as the Nathrazim forged this ancient sword, which brings with it violence, plagues, and death. Apocalypse soon earned its horrific reputation at the hands of a Trisgard mage who couldn't control its destructive energies. In time, the sword was seized by the malevolent Dark Riders, servants of Medivh, the corrupted guardian of Tirisfal. They hid the blade in the catacombs underneath his home, the the Tower of Karazhan. And wow, Unholy's got like the best looking weapon so far. Damn! That's like, oh hey, look, regular sword, scimitar. Giant scimitar. Nice. Alright guys, that's it for the overview of all the artifact weapons. So, hopefully you enjoyed that. I am very impressed with how the artwork looks on the original ones. Not so much the ones that they showed us in the preview here. So that's very concerning to me. I knew Death Knights would get cool looking weapons. Yeah, I think the most cool looking ones were Death Knights, Paladin, Priest, and the Warlock. I think that they all had very, very nice looking weapons. But yeah. Alright guys, we'll talk more about Legion in upcoming streams. I think that was all that we had to go off of right now. Legion class features. Let's just have a... Yeah, this is all that we had for Legion right now. But very impressive so far for the weapons and stuff. I can see now probably why they're taking a little bit more time with it. I'm still not happy with the fact that they're going to be taking basically 11 months to finish up what looks like it's already completed. But yeah, so if you guys like the content and you stuck around and watched and you like being informed with some of this stuff, go ahead and hit that follow button, guys. I really appreciate that. If you want to, head on over to the YouTube channel in probably about an hour and you'll see the full video up if you missed any of it, or you can go to the videos on my my Twitch page and see the VOD. Yeah, I'll be uploading them to YouTube right after I close this video down. Warrior and Warlock. Yeah, I'll be uploading this video the second I close the video down, because we're probably going to get ready for a podcast here, hopefully. I'm hoping. But we'll see you guys in a little bit. I'm going to be streaming again, so we'll see you guys then.